All right. Well, you know, we go from laughing to crying again because just recently, oh my God, this again, we talk about how everything just falls in place for Donald Trump. But Lana, I'm sure as you've heard, Judge Alieen Cannon on Monday dismissed former President Trump's federal classified documents case, citing the unlawful appointment and funding of special counsel Jack Smith. Now, I've been alive long enough to know that special counsels have been appointed on numerous occasions, but for some reason, this one was unlawful. Trump, the only former president convicted of a felony, has scored a major legal win ahead of Election Day as the other two outstanding criminal cases against him remain on ice. Trump's legal team has repeatedly sought to have the classified documents case dismissed. It was widely believed to be the strongest criminal case the former president was facing. There's absolutely no question about it. I've brought this up numerous times. I read the entire indictment, and I know people, what's the term that you can indict a ham sandwich if you do it right, which is fine. But I beg somebody to read the indictment and tell me, no, this is way off. This is way off. How the fuck do you get at it? It's very simple. The FBI or the CIA, whoever it was, asked the Department of Justice, asked back for these classified documents. He lied and said he didn't have them. Then it turned out he clearly did. When they busted in his house, they gave him 1 fucking year to give this up. And he lied for a year to them. Lied. And after a year, they said, okay, we're going to bust in your house. I just want to let you know at some point we're coming in.
They didn't even bust in his house. So let's can't say bust because they were like,
they nicely walked in when he was gone.
Because they let them know ahead of time. Called them up, set up a goddamn time and said, we're coming. You don't have, that's why Melania and they were all gone, because they let them know. So they didn't have to go witness and go through that.
Right.
Who does that?
Right. So in that time frame, they discovered that he had some sort of henchmen or people that just would do whatever Donald Trump tells them to, which we've already discovered that there are many of these so-called men who will do that. But had them taking these classified documents and loading them up in trucks and vans or whatever, the Suburbans, and hiding them and moving them and take them into different places. The Department of Justice got their hands on plenty of these classified documents. Some of them were just laying around in bathrooms. Then Donald Trump claimed that they were his to begin with. So first of all, he lied and said he didn't have them. Then he just said that they were his, that he could take them and do whatever he wants with them, when there's absolutely no precedent at all that says that he can do that. In fact, it is in writing that as soon as you leave the White House, that it goes to the I can't remember the name of it, but
archives.
The archive, yeah. It goes to the archives, and that's the end of it. That's it. And yeah, people are going to point to Mike Pence doing it and Joe Biden doing it, but what they did they discovered it.
Pence doing it.
Who?
No one's pointing to Pence doing it. They're just pointing to Biden, but.
Well, they did. There was an investigation on Pence, and there was an investigation on Biden, and both of them, they called and said, hey, we have these. You should come get them. We took them by, which I still don't understand how you took them by mistake. That to me, I still don't understand to this day, but obviously, they gave them right back. There was no lying. It could have been simple. It could have been over had Donald Trump just said,
right.
All right, yeah, I got them here. Take them back. And again, we go back to this, people claiming that this assassination attempt was some big setup. And again, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, and I'm not saying that happened, but the fact that people had thought that, and they don't think that because they hate the man. They think that because they know this man's character. You already have a guy who says, I don't have these documents, when he clearly fucking had them and told them I don't, and then got people to move them illegally. He had regular citizens holding classified documents.
Yeah.
That right there is a crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's dismissed. It's just dismissed. So now the same thing that we've heard over and over and over again about this. Now, what does Jack Smith do? Does he finally go to the 11th Circuit and appeal this and have Judge Cannon removed? That appears to be what's going to happen. I am certainly no legal expert, but the legal experts I listen to think that at this point he has no choice. I don't know if the ultimate scenario plays out that we would want to see, but some people do believe.
I don't like that scenario, kind of. I don't know.
But what else do you do? Just say screw it?
No, you re-indict him.
Can you do that?
And then you re-indict, and then he gets just a regular federal judge and not the special counsel. And then the regular federal judge can actually use Jack Smith as, like, you know, what do you call co-counsel? You know what I mean?
So is that on the table? Is that something that you've heard?
Yeah,
those
are two. Yeah, those are two options, because he's probably going to appeal and do that process. But
is it ego? Is it, or does he think he can win, or is it like, I'm not letting this person outplay me?
I wouldn't. I mean, appeal is the process, because you don't want to look like you're trying to get another judge. Like, so you just appeal it and you just go back, and whoever they give you, I guess, right, with that. Do
they make on the appeal? I think that he does make the request for a new judge.
Right.
Yeah. So
an appeal that can keep going back and forth to the Supreme Court. That's my fear.
Well, the biggest fear, Lana, is that Donald Trump wins in November and this goes absolutely nowhere anyway. So because this trial is not happening before the election now, it's just not. And that's why I keep talking about how this guy just keeps falling into these scenarios that all work out for him and is beyond annoying and really disheartening. I mean, it just is. This doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
I mean, it does make sense, right? We dropped the ball. And what was that, 2016? Was that 20? When did he get elected? I can't even remember.
Yeah, it was the 2016 election. So he took office in 17.
17, right. So we dropped the ball. I mean, people keep saying, well, yeah, but it's the Russian interference, which was that too, I guess, in a way, like, you know, people
it definitely played in.
Self-suppressing and not voting because of the disinformation. And people didn't know, we knew that there was disinformation, just believing stuff. So he got elected. And
it wasn't even just, I'm sorry, Lana, not to cut you off. It wasn't just not voting, but it was getting people who never voted before to go, oh my God, I'm opening my eyes now. And Donald Trump is the guy who is now getting me to get off the couch to vote. So that disinformation and misinformation, I think, played more into the people who would not have voted for Donald Trump that did.
Right. But yeah, so he got there. He was able to do judges. And that's exactly what we tried to tell you and why we say this is the most important election. Because if you don't think that this is the most important election, look what how he's getting out of these cases. He's getting out of these cases because he was able to appoint justices. Was it
Supreme Court justices?
Supreme Court justices. He was able to appoint these judges that actually help.
Alieen Cannon is one of them.
Is the one. I don't even know if he knew that, right? He just put her there. Right? He was just appointing his Republican conservative judges. That's what he was doing. And now this is what's getting him out of this case. And then if it goes to the Supreme Court, it's done, or if he becomes president. But then not only that, if he's president, he's going to finish the job with the Supreme Court, because how long is Sotomayor going to be there? Is she not going to retire for another 4 years? Hang tight, girl. Hang tight. Like, I'm pretty sure they're not saying anything. The Democrats are like, shit, she probably needs to retire right now. So Biden, but it's probably too late, because they're probably trying to hold up his Supreme Court. Like, they're not going to do it. It's too late now. So we're really in a lot of trouble. I'm still hopeful. I got these in the mail today because, you know, here in Massachusetts, they make it very easy for you. Yes. So they send you reminders and they're like, here's your application to vote by mail. So yeah, they make it very easy. But man, y'all better get
think about this. And this is no joke. And I'm not joking around. It sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but if Donald Trump wins and one of those justices retire, I swear to God, he's going to put this Alieen Cannon.
Yeah, Alieen Cannon, absolutely. That's her job. That's why she's doing what she did. She finished her job. She finished her job right before the convention, just like they planned it. Because the thing was 90 pages. She didn't do 90 pages in one night. She didn't just, she didn't do it. She had, that was already prepared.
Right. Oh my God, this is just as we get closer and closer, it's going to get scarier and scarier and scarier.